Falling in love again after the age of 65 can feel like a blessing. Many seniors find comfort, joy, and companionship in new relationships. But before you say "I do" again, there are important things you must know. These are not small things. These are truths that could affect your home, your income, your children's inheritance, and your peace of mind. Too many seniors have lost everything they worked their whole lives for because they didn't know what remarriage could do to their finances and legal rights. Truth 1. Your Social Security could be cut. By a lot. Many seniors don't realize that getting married after retirement could drastically reduce their Social Security income. You may have spent decades working and building up your benefits, or you might be receiving survivor benefits from a late spouse. But the moment you remarry, those benefits can change, or even disappear. For example, if you're receiving survivor benefits from a previous spouse who earned a higher income, you may lose those payments once you say "I do" again. Even if you're receiving your own benefits, marrying someone with a similar or higher income could lead to your payments being recalculated, sometimes dropping by 30% to 40%. This isn't something most people are warned about until it's too late, when they notice their monthly check is smaller. That's why it's so important to speak to a Social Security specialist before making a commitment. Ask for a breakdown of how your benefits could change and get it in writing. If the reduction is significant, you may want to explore legal alternatives to marriage, like a domestic partnership or a cohabitation agreement, so you can protect your income and still enjoy companionship. Truth 2. You may be responsible for your new spouse's medical bills. As we get older, medical bills become a bigger part of life. What most people don't know is that when you marry someone, even later in life, you may become legally responsible for their medical expenses, including those they had before the marriage. This is due to laws in many states known as the doctrine of necessaries, which means a spouse must help pay for necessary medical care. If your new husband or wife gets sick, especially with a serious illness like cancer or dementia, and their treatments aren't fully covered by Medicare or insurance, you could be left holding the bill. Some people have lost their entire retirement savings, homes, and peace of mind because of this. Before remarrying, both partners should share their full medical history, check their insurance coverage, and speak to a financial advisor who understands elder healthcare costs. You can also create a legal document, often called a medical prenup, which spells out who is responsible for what, so you're not surprised with debt you can't afford. If you're still with us, it's clear you're thinking about your future. Subscribe now to get the advice you need to make sure your years ahead are filled with peace and security. Truth 3. Your children could lose their inheritance. You've likely spent years building a legacy for your children and grandchildren. A home, savings, family heirlooms. But once you remarry, the law can change who gets what when you pass away, even if you already wrote a will. In many places, a new spouse is legally entitled to a portion of your estate, sometimes up to half, even if you meant for that money or property to go to your kids. In blended families, things can get especially complicated. If you co-own property with your new spouse or change accounts to joint ownership, your biological children could end up getting nothing, even if your intentions were clear. For example, many seniors have had family homes or cabins passed down for generations, only to see them lost when a new spouse inherits everything by default. The best way to protect your family's inheritance is to create a trust, keep premarital assets separate, and work with an elder law attorney who understands how to legally secure your children's future. Don't rely on a simple will. It often isn't enough after remarriage. Truth 4. Medicaid could take everything you have. If you or your spouse ever need nursing home care, you may be depending on Medicaid to help cover the high costs. But what many seniors don't understand is that Medicaid has strict rules about assets, and once you're married, your finances are considered together. Even if you've kept your money and property separate on paper, Medicaid treats both spouses' resources as one pool. That means you could be forced to spend down your savings, sell your home, or give up your security to qualify for coverage. Worse still, Medicaid has a 5-year look-back rule. This means any gifts or asset transfers you made within the past 5 years can be penalized, delaying or denying care coverage when you need it most. Seniors who remarried without planning for this often find themselves in financial ruin, just when they're at their most vulnerable. Before marriage, talk to a Medicaid planning expert. There are legal ways to protect your assets, such as setting up trusts or purchasing long-term care insurance, but these must be done in advance, ideally before you remarry. Truth 5. You could lose control of your own home. Your home is likely more than just a house. It holds your memories, your comfort, and the legacy you hope to pass on to your children or grandchildren. But what many don't realize is that when you remarry, especially later in life, the legal dynamics surrounding home ownership can shift in ways you never intended. Even if your home was bought and paid for long before a new spouse entered the picture, and even if the deed has your name on it alone, state laws often give spouses certain automatic rights. In many states, a new spouse may gain homestead rights or elective share rights, meaning they have a legal interest in the property simply by being married to you. This could prevent you from refinancing, selling, or even making changes to your estate plan without their involvement. In the event of your passing, the house may not go to your children or the heirs you had planned for. It could instead pass to your new spouse or be subject to probate battles between families. And if that spouse later remarries or passes away themselves, your home might end up in the hands of someone you never even met. To protect your control, it's crucial to take steps before marriage, such as placing the property into a trust, creating a prenuptial agreement, or ensuring your estate plan reflects your true wishes. Your home is a deeply personal part of your life, and with the right protections in place, you can ensure it stays in your hands, and then in the hands of those you love and trust. Truth 6. Your taxes could skyrocket. Many people believe marriage automatically brings financial benefits, but when it comes to taxes, especially in retirement, the truth is often the opposite. When two seniors, each with their own Social Security benefits, pensions, or retirement account distributions, marry and file jointly, their combined income can push them into a much higher tax bracket. This isn't just a small change. It can lead to a domino effect that impacts your entire financial situation. More of your Social Security benefits may become taxable, your Medicare Part B premiums might rise, and you may face new taxes on required minimum distributions, RMDs, from your retirement accounts. For example, a widow receiving survivor benefits and a retired man drawing from his 401k might each be comfortably below tax thresholds when single, but once married, their joint income could lead to thousands more in federal taxes, plus surcharges on health care. And if you sell a home or other assets later in retirement, capital gains taxes could also hit harder as a couple. Sadly, many couples only discover this after the first tax season together, when their refund shrinks or their bill grows unexpectedly. That's why it's wise to consult a senior tax advisor before marrying, so you can compare tax projections for single versus married status. In some cases, remaining unmarried but legally partnered through a domestic agreement may be the smartest way to share life together, without sacrificing your financial stability to the IRS. Truth 7. Not everyone who seems loving has good intentions. Love can feel like a warm light after a long stretch of loneliness, especially if you've lost a long-time partner or have been on your own for years. And when someone new enters your life offering companionship, compliments, attention, and even affection, it can feel like life is giving you a second chance. But here's the difficult truth that too many seniors learn too late. Not everyone who appears kind and loving is truly looking out for your best interests. Some people, often called financial predators, specifically target older adults, not because of who you are, but because of what you have. They know many seniors have stable retirement income, paid-off homes, life insurance, or savings, and they see that as an opportunity for exploitation, not partnership. These individuals can be very patient. They may not ask for anything right away. They'll earn your trust first, make you feel seen and valued. They might say all the right things, like how money doesn't matter, or we should build everything together. They could suggest combining accounts for convenience, putting their name on your home just in case something happens, or borrowing money for a sure-thing investment, maybe involving a business, family member, or medical expense. And if you hesitate, they might try to make you feel guilty, accusing you of not trusting them or not being truly committed. But make no mistake, these are warning signs, not signs of love. Real love doesn't need rushing. It doesn't demand financial access or secrecy from your family. It doesn't pressure you to change your will, share bank accounts, or hand over your credit card. Real love gives you space to think, asks you to involve your children or trusted friends, and respects your financial independence. If someone in your life becomes angry or evasive when you ask questions about their past, their debt, or their intentions, that's not romance. That's manipulation. There are heartbreaking stories of seniors who gave away everything: homes, inheritances meant for children, and entire retirement accounts, only to be left abandoned, betrayed, and financially ruined. These people aren't foolish. They're human. We all want connection. But it's essential to balance the heart with the head. Before making any financial moves in a relationship, take time to truly know the other person. Run a background check, ask for transparency, involve your loved ones. Consult an attorney. If they care about you, they'll understand. If they push back, that's your answer. You've worked hard your whole life. You've saved, sacrificed, raised children, built a home, and made wise decisions to create the safety and peace you now enjoy. And just because you're older doesn't mean life is done offering joy, companionship, or even new love. But here's the truth. Love should never cost you everything you've built. It should add to your life, not threaten it. It should make you feel stronger and more secure, not anxious, rushed, or unsure. Too often, seniors are made to feel that protecting themselves is somehow untrusting or selfish. But it's not selfish to want to keep your finances secure. It's not unkind to ask for a prenuptial agreement or to insist on separate bank accounts. It's not rude to delay marriage or to say no to mixing your finances until you're sure. It's wise. It's respectful to yourself and to the people who love you, especially your children and grandchildren who are depending on your planning and care. Remember this: real love won't ask you to give up your safety. It won't come with conditions that put your retirement, your legacy, or your dignity at risk. And if you do decide to open your heart again, which you absolutely deserve to do, you can do it in a way that also protects your home, your health, and your inheritance. Talk to professionals, involve your family, put plans in writing, take your time. Because love in its truest form should feel like peace, not a gamble. And with the right precautions in place, you can say yes to companionship without ever having to say goodbye to what you've worked a lifetime to earn.